we're going to stay on service just for a moment with expectations, and let's drill down even further. We only have time to go into really one piece. And that one piece we're going to drill down into is communication. Communication. How you communicate with your customers is an excellent way to meet and beat expectations. If we can improve our level of communication. I want to start first by telling you a little bit about what happens when two people communicate. Oftentimes I hope people say, it's a waste of time, Russ. Come on. One person's talking, one person's listening. How difficult can that be? Well, you'd think it'd be as simple as that, but it's not. Let's use us in this room right now as an example. I want you to take a look at this model. This particular model, we call it our communication model, and there's two elements here, and I'll label them for you. Is up at the top where it says visual, verbal, vocal. That whole section is the person who sends the communication, and we call that, the word for that, we call it encoding. Encoding, E-N-C-O-D-I-N-G, encoding. Then from the top of the funnel down, that's where the customer receives it and interprets, and that's called decoding. Decoding. Now there's a lot that takes place. Let's use us in this room right now as an example. Us in here right now. For me to communicate with you right now, I choose to speak. I could stand up here and say nothing and just write it on a piece of paper and we'll hand it around the room, right? That would be very inefficient. So how am I choosing to communicate? I'm going to speak words to you. I'm going to speak English because that's about the only thing I'm good at. I'm going to speak English. I'm going to speak words. And I'm going to use inflections in my voice. And I'm using a little bit of body language. And I've got some visual aids. That's the visual, the verbal, and the vocal. I'm taking everything that I've got up here. Anna asked me to do something. She said, Russ, can you come in for about 45 minutes and take some of what you've got up here on service, package it up, and put it in everyone's head. Literally, that's what I'm supposed to do, right? Take what's here and put it in your head. Now, if this were the Matrix, it'd be wonderfully easy, wouldn't it? We just plug in and go from one head to the next. So you download all the experience and all the knowledge, and it'd be done. Unfortunately, we can't do that. As humans, we have a dilemma. To pass on any type of idea or any type of information, we must encode it and transfer it to someone else's head. Usually happens verbally. But we have those three pieces, visual, verbal, vocal. So I'm packaging everything up right now. I'm going to get very literal just for a moment. Packaging it up, and I'm sending it to you right now. It's making its way through the air, vibrating on your eardrums. Now it's in your head. Okay, now we're in your head. What takes place inside your head? Well, there's a lot going on in there. Inside your head, I always picture as you've got one person sitting up on a stool right up front that tends to run the whole organization. They're sitting up there and they're looking down at all the minions down below doing all the work in the brain, right? While all that's going on, I'm sending this information to you and it's coming in like a ticker tape. And one of the minions down there is saying, what am I supposed to do with all this? Russ just keeps talking and it just keeps coming. And the one up on the stool says, do what you always do with it. Go make meaning out of it. Oh yeah, right, thanks, forgot. Picks up all the ticker tape and it starts walking towards the big funnel where it's going to filter it. It gets about right here and all of a sudden there is a huge security guard standing in the way. Where do you think you're going? This is everything Russ has been saying. I thought I'd go make meaning out of it. Russ? Nah, it's meaningless. Throw it away. Hopefully that's not happening. Hopefully it's everything Russ has been saying. Oh yeah, we traveled a long way and 45 minutes of my time, that's valuable. We better get something out of this. All right, go see what you can make out of it. They walk over here and they dump it into a funnel. That's where it goes through all of this. It goes through your experiences, your assumptions, your distractions, your education, your biases. It goes through all of that, and that's just a subset of all the filters it goes through. And it comes out the other end and turns into your interpretation and meaning. Comes out the other end, the minion comes running back over here, hands it to the one up on the stool. Thank you, back to work. So that's what Russ means. I'm going to leave it right there. And they go on listening. Or this could happen. Here you go. Thank you, back to work. Who? I don't know what that means. And that's when you raise your hand. If in your role you ever educate your customers, your peers, your teammates, people at your organization, when someone asks you a question, that's what's happening. They filtered it all. It just came out the other end meaningless. Whose fault is that? You could say, well, it's theirs, Russ. Everyone else got it. They didn't. We don't know all their filters. So you know what you have to do if you're ever in that position? This is what I do when I facilitate a class. I'd say, Anna, tell me now, what organization are you with? What unit do you work with? Tell me about your role. What are the types of customers? Give me an example of when you would interact with a customer. She gives me all this information. I go, okay, in that case, if you were to take this model and apply it, and you see how I give her a very specific example right to her, and then she starts nodding her head and she goes, okay, got it. What just happened? I hit a different filter in her mind. That's all. That's all. If someone doesn't get it and they raise their hand, you can't just repeat it to them louder and expect them to get it. That's all I'm saying.